Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Mensah with inspirations and guidance from Eagle Helen Mensah in the unseen world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 11th of June in the year 2024, and the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made. And therefore, we should rejoice and be glad in it. And for that matter, I take this opportunity to invite you to join me to give thanks to God for this beautiful and wonderful day that He has granted unto us and life in general. Life is beautiful. Life is wonderful. Life is glorious. Life is God Himself flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I'm going to speak to you on the topic every chronic habit was at first a gentle and a feeble thought. I repeat, every chronic and endemic habit was at the beginning a gentle and a feeble thought. We live in a world that almost everyone has a habit that he or she wants to do away with. But whenever you ask people, whenever you meet people, anyone tends to complain, tends to blame other people, other things as the source, as the cause of the habit that they find themselves in or that has become chronic in their lives. So today I'm here to shed light on this with you and also to guide you and to direct you to be awakened to the truth that every habit, everything that you see as chronic, endemic, that you are finding it difficult to do away with, was at the beginning a simple and a gentle thought that you started practicing. So every habit is simply a practice thought that has become chronic. It has become your normal, easy way of thinking, and therefore you always go along that line. And if you want to change this, there is nothing in this world that can change it except you taking control of your mind and begin to work your way back to where you started. We were born into this world, and when we were all born as children, babies, we never had any of these habits. But it was taught by thought as we were trained, as we passed through this world. Then we started picking these trails of thoughts. We mimic our parents, we mimic other people, we look at situations, and based on how we've been brought up, based on how we've been trained, then we form our opinions about it. And along those lines, we think. And as we think, it becomes our natural way of thinking or normal way of thinking, and therefore it has become your belief, and your belief becomes your habit. And so, just as I shared with you yesterday, that the greatest invention in this world was once a simple and a gentle thought in a person's mind, or in the originator's mind. It is the same way that every habit, everything that you have in your life that you are working to do away with, was once or was at a point in your life a simple and a gentle thought, and you started practicing it. Now, most of our behaviors, most of our habits give us pain, give us discomfort. We want to do away with them by hook or crook. Yes. Now, the way to go about with it is not to fight it, and it is not to hate it, but is to meet it with wisdom and intelligence. And as I have always been sharing with you, every human being has a guiding system or a guidance system in him or her. And the only way that you can review or you can rework yourself back to your natural state of feeling good and being happy all the time is to listen to how you feel. How you feel is an indicator. It's a message to you that you are either in alignment with your true self or out of alignment with your true self. And once you respond to these feelings accordingly and making yourself back, feeling good, the only determination, the only thing you want to achieve in life, you will work yourself back to where you were at the beginning when that simple and gentle thought dropped into your mind. And so habits are just like seeds that we sow in the soil or in the ground, that they gently, feebly grow and become bigger trees that sometimes we find it difficult to even climb. And therefore, you water and practice everything that you call your habit, your bad habit or whatever, in your mind. And at the beginning, most people will normally say, oh, this is game, or this is just fun. I'm just playing with it. So you begin doing that. Then today you indulge in it. Tomorrow you indulge in it. Tomorrow you indulge in it. And so by the time you realize, it has become your chronic way of thinking. And so today, you only have to wake up and take control of your mind. You are a powerful human being. And you have the power and the ability, the right to create, to make everything that you want in your life. And therefore, you cannot just allow yourself to be, buffeted by this habit. They are your own creation. And the one that creates anything is the only person that can dismantle it. And the way to dismantle is what I'm sharing with you. So you are a human being, you have a mind. And as you are in this world, you are an extension of a very powerful force that we call God. Infinite intelligence, source, energy, whatever name you want to give to this power. And the arrangement is that you as an individual in an earthly body with a personality, you are given the freedom and the right to think. And since you are an extension of the higher power to think, and the arrangement is that your thought process, your thought pattern, and that of your higher self, your inner being, must be in agreement all the time. But one thing is that your inner being is pure, holy, that is God. And therefore, it holds nothing as negative thought. So as soon as you begin to respond to the contrast, life challenges that we call life contrast around you, then you are thinking against the thinking pattern of your inner being. So you create a kind of misalignment. The flow of things that are supposed to be between you and your parent self is distorted. And therefore, you create negative situations. And so whatever habit that you are going through, whatever pain, whatever suffering that you are going through, as a result of a habit that you have developed, is coming to you. The pain is as a result of you feeling the disconnection between you and yourself on physical. And therefore, the only way you can do this, the only way to correct it, is to begin to develop positive mindedness. Begin to think in the positive way. Now, this is not anything that is going to work as a magic wand, but it is a deliberate process. This is what we call deliberate creation. You take deliberate and calculated effort and attempts to begin to direct your mind towards the area, towards what you want to achieve. And thankfully, the mechanism that we've been given, which is our emotions, our internal guidance, will always give us the feedback as to whether we are progressing the way we want or we are retrogressing. On this journey, you are the only person that can measure and know and feel your progress. Either you are going forward or you are going back or you are at a standstill. And therefore, the only way to correct your habits is to begin to pay attention to how you feel. When the feeling comes, ask yourself, is this what I want? And if it is not what you want, then you must use your willpower to look for, or any other thoughts, any other things that will make you feel good. And that is what you want. And as I have already mentioned in one of my episodes, or some of my episodes, the only reason why all human beings are on earth here is to feel happy. No one human being is here to feel bad. No human being is here to feel sad. You were not born to exhibit all these kind of things. All sadness and all these kind of negative emotions are only a way to help us to guide ourselves onto what we want. And so, do not go after people. Do not see yourself as a victim. Do not take your habit as something that was caused by someone. Some of the habits we deliberately went into it. If you take habits like smoking, taking alcohol, and some of these things are manufactured by us. As a young man, you saw other people, maybe your parents, your peers, already in this habit, and you thought it was cool. It was just a simple thought. Oh, let me try it. So you try it today, you try it tomorrow, and as you go about trying it, at that point, you are making fun of it. And by the time you realize this simple thought that you say you are making fun, you just try it, has grown to become a giant tree in your life that is fighting you. That is how habits are formed. And this principle applies to everything in our life, every aspect of our life. No one is impeding your progress, and no one has sown anything into your mind except you accepting it. Yes, all other things are around us, but we are the gatekeepers of our minds. And therefore, you are supposed to only guide your mind. And that is why the book of Proverbs in the Bible teaches us that we should guide our heart. For all that we are, all that we will do, comes from there. And that is what we are talking about. And so, you might have already sown these habits. They have become chronic. But as we all know, no man or woman can live in two places or in two cities at the same time. Even if you have 3 houses in the same city, you cannot live in these 3 houses concurrently. No. The law requires you that if you want to live in house A, you must forgo house B and C and live in house A. And then if you want to live in house C, you must forgo A and B. And so it is with our life. You cannot live in your current situation. You cannot focus on your current situation and to arrive at the different situation. You must forgo what you are doing now. So what we are talking about here now is focus. You are now supposed to focus your mind deliberately on what you want to be. You know what you are going through. You don't want it. At the other end of that is what you want. So this is where you take your mind. You focus your mind and begin to think only what you want to achieve. And therefore, you have to take your mind off the problem. You have to take your mind off the situation. You do not have to talk about it as it is, but you talk about it as you want it to be. And as Jesus Christ gave us in the Bible, that no man can serve 2 masters. No human being can serve 2 masters. Either you hate one and love one, or you honor one and dishonor the other one. And it is the same thing. You cannot keep on indulging in negativity. You cannot keep on practicing the thoughts that created your habits and expect to arrive at a situation or a condition that makes you feel good. You must forgo those thoughts. And the way you do it is gradually, gently, developing new opposing thoughts. At the beginning, they are feeble, they are weak. But look at how the crops, look at how the seedlings we sow begins. They come out feeble. Sometimes when they start even in the soil, they are just whitish thin. Gradually, they gain strength. And they become giant trees. In the same way, whatever habit you are battling, you know it. And at the other end of it is the answer. Begin to formulate thoughts about the answer and practice them deliberately. And as you practice them, those that you don't want, the thoughts about the habit will begin to fade away from your system. And as you begin to water the new one, the old one fades away. and then you create a new reality. And that is why we say you create your own reality. So everything that we see in our world, everything that we see in our life, is simply the objectification, the manifestation of our thoughts. And therefore, you ought to be deliberate. You got to be a deliberate creator. You are every day creating reality. You are every day creating your habit. You are every day creating your life situations. But you are a powerful human being that has been given a mechanism that gives you a feedback. Always, every minute, every hour, you get a feedback. Pay attention to the feedback. Don't ignore it. And don't just go about looking for people to pray for you, looking for people to sympathize with you, looking for medication and other things to take care of your own habit. It won't work. Because the thoughts, the roots of that habit has not been dealt with. And the only way to deal with the roots of the habit is to get an opposing thought. An opposite thought that is positive, wonderful, and begin to practice it. And so, just as the bricklayer puts brick upon brick upon brick to create this magnificent edifice that we call it beautiful, in the same way, you put thought upon thought upon thought, practice thought, till you became what you are. And if you want to have a new one, in the same way, just as the bricklayer, they have to break or they have to dismantle the old and dilapidated building that they don't want and dismantle everything and then begin the process again to create a new and a beautiful one. In the same way, you must begin to break down your old thoughts. And the way you break down your old thoughts that brought about your habit, your debilitating habit, the one that is causing you pain and suffering, is to take your mind off it. And as you deliberately refuse to water it, to pour more energy on it, it will destroy, it will dismantle on its own. And then you become a free person. So your habit, whether it's alcoholism, whether it is smoking, whether it's womanizing, whether it is any kind of habit that you do not want, it is causing you pain. Do not take it that it was created for you by someone. And it is not the work of any demon or devil or whatever, but it was your own creation. You started with a simple and a gentle thought. At that time, you just thought, as a young man or woman, you thought it was cool. And cool. The cool has tended to become something more painful, and it is destroying your life. Be wise. Rise up. Take control of your mind. Your mind is a creative medium. And whatever you suggest to it, it will work it out for you. Therefore, you know what you are going through. It is painful. You don't like it. Suggest the great and the positive ones. And as I've already stated, your mind can hold only one trail of thought. Your mind can only hold one line of belief. And therefore, until you leave the old and embrace the new one, you cannot get a new life. And I again, re-echoing the words of Jesus Christ, no one can serve two masters. You will either hate one and love one, or despise one and then honor the other one. So it is in your life. Whatever challenge, whatever situation you are going through, you cannot serve two masters. You cannot indulge in this habit and then expect to receive the opposite of it. No, you have to deliberately take your mind off the one that you don't want, and then begin to dwell, emotionalize, feel happy, feel and feel the enjoyment. And then you feel yourself into the new and the positive one that you are desiring. And so that is how we create our realities. This is the power of thoughts. This is the time that we are taking the power of thought to another level. We are to rise up. We are created and born deliberate creators, co-creators with God. Therefore, let us be deliberate, but not just resign to a life that we accept situations into our life as they are. No, they are not. We are creating it. And therefore, you have the power and ability to change every circumstance, every situation, especially your habits in your life right now. Therefore, take control of your life. And as Jesus Christ said, You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. The only truth that will set you free is what I've told you. You are the only person that can set yourself free. And until you take your rightful place in life and begin to mold and shape your life as you want it, you will remain a slave to your own thoughts and beliefs. You will remain a slave to the habits that you started as gentle and feeble thoughts. That is my message for you. Now, may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open such that they do not fall on us, and keeps the planets in their orbit such that they do not clash with one another, lead and guide you, direct you in your life, such that you become awakened to your inner indwelling powers, and become awakened to the fact that you are the creator of your own reality, and begin to take control of your life. You'll be awakened to the importance, the value your negative emotions have for you. And that is serving as messages that you need to change and work yourself back in alignment with your true self, with God, and co-create positive and beautiful and wonderful things in your life. And that is why we say you've become a true human being who is conquering, who is molding and shaping and reshaping his life according to what he or she desires. For you are a God in an earthly body. Thank you, and God bless you.